You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. And over the weekend, a 3-minute video of activist and Gary Chambers out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana went viral. Millions of people saw him snap it on Connie. Watch this.
So I had intended to get up here and talk about how racist Robert E. Lee was, but I'm going to talk about you, Connie. Sitting over there shopping while we talking about Robert E. Lee. This is a picture of you shopping while we talking about racism and history in this country. Only white members of this board got up while we were up here talking too, because you don't give a damn, and it's clear. But I'm going to tell you what the slaves, my ancestors, said about Robert E. Lee, since you don't know history, sister. Let me tell you that they said when he got the plantation, after he got off the field where 27,000 people died at Gettysburg, Connie, Robert E. Lee was a brutal slave master. Not only did when he whooped the slaves, he said, lay it on them hard. After he said, lay it on them hard, he said, put brine on them so it'll burn them. That's what Robert E. Lee did. And you set your arrogant self in here and sit on there shopping while the pain and the hurt of the people of this community is on display, because you don't give a damn and you should resign. You should have resigned 2 years ago when you choked a white man in his house. You should have resigned 2 weeks ago when you got on TV and said foolishness. And you should walk out of here and resign and never come back, because you are the example of racism in this community. You are horrible. Now to the rest of the board. You have an obligation to the people of this community, and 81% of them are black. And do you need a Klan rally outside, Mr. Goday, before you end it? Because holding it up means that you put that building in jeopardy. You do, sir. Because all over the country, they're burning stuff down. And black folks in this city have stood with protesters. I ain't seen you elected officials out there with them, making sure that nothing goes south in Baton Rouge. It's been folks in this community who give a damn, not just when it's comfortable, but every time. And 4 years ago, we came down here. Mr. Drake, they say you're a good man. Be a good man. Black folks say you're a good man. White folks say you're a good man. Your legacy is attached to tonight, brother. Your legacy. Now, let me say to the black members of the board, it's the most solidarity I've seen out of y'all in forever. Let's keep it that. Let's stand on this moving forward, because we don't need to apologize for Connie, Evelyn. She showed you who she was when she was...
Oh, love it. He was calling for East Baton Rouge Parish School Board member Connie Bernard to apologize. She later did so, and she said, no, I wasn't shopping. There was a pop-up ad, and I was trying to figure out how to get rid of it. She lied because she was scrolling down on the ad. Gary Chambers is the publisher and advocate for the Rouge Collection. He joins us right now. Gary, you all up in Connie's ass.
Well, brother, you know, sometimes that's what it requires.
Well, the thing that gets me is she lying in her apology. She was scrolling down. She was scrolling down. She was shopping. She didn't want to hear none of that.
She's sitting next to a black woman, Evelyn Ware Jackson, who serves on the school board with her. And while Evelyn is expressing her sentiments about Robert E. Lee, Connie is sitting there scrolling and shopping. And for me, it really just pissed me off. And I just could not contain just letting them have the unadulterated truth. And what you guys saw is a reflection, in my opinion, of what we as black folks deal with when we deal with our government. That here black folks show up pleading our case about why we should do something to change something that is clearly systemic and structural. And we got a school board member who's just sitting there saying, the hell with what y'all doing. I'm going to just go shopping while y'all are pleading your hearts out to us, the government.
You also made a point. You said that 81% area. How many white board members are on this school board, and how did that happen?
So let's talk about that in a real way. So Baton Rouge first of all, we had the longest standing desegregation case in the country. That's number one. And the school district encountered white flight like never before in the 50s, 60s, 70s, whenever desegregation began to happen. Catholic schools and private schools started opening in Baton Rouge. And so white folks left the system and they never came back. And so now the school system is 81% black. The city of Baton Rouge is 56% black. We have parishes rather than counties. So our parish is 47 and 47, yet our school board is a 9-member board with 5 white Republicans and 4 black Democrats. Our city council, Roland, is 12 members. It is 7 white and 5 black in a city that is majority black. And so it's extreme gerrymandering. And so it's important that we take the census as black folks so that we can get more seats. But we have got to be pressing the gas on these people every day, because this is what builds an inequitable system.
Well, you're absolutely right. And again, the fact that they are holding the power, and the reality is their children are not going to these school systems. And this is also, I mean, we saw the same thing in Ferguson. They just got their first black mayor. This is a 67% black city.
So this is our second black mayor. Mayor Sharon Weston Broome is our second black mayor. But we have watched inequities, whether it is DBEs, disadvantaged business enterprises. I started advocacy about 5 years ago as a small business owner. I was watching how white-owned companies were getting 98 and 97% of the contracts in the city of Baton Rouge, and the Baton Rouge Area Chamber was in support of Baton Rouge being a thriving and growing place, and the chamber still being silent about Connie Bernard resigning, and that breeds a culture of division. It breeds a culture of inequity and a lack of progress. And if we are not, as you say, on their ass, right, then we will continue to have a foot up ours until we demand that they do something different.
And it's about the money. That at the bottom line, it's about the money. I keep telling people, when Maynard Jackson, when he ran for mayor of Atlanta, African Americans were getting 0.0012% of all city contracts. And then the other day, I saw some Republican tweeted, "Oh, look at all of these black mayors you've had in Atlanta." I said, don't get confused. White folks in Atlanta still want to be able to control the money. And the only reason they have not been able to keep controlling the money because those black mayors used the power of that airport and said, nope, we're going to ensure we open these doors. And that's what this boils down to is. That is, they say, look, we might lose the demographic numbers, but if we control the money, we control the city, the school board, the state, the nation.
And so, Roland, I did a video about a week ago where I was talking about, I don't believe that there are black meccas. I know that folks have advocated that Atlanta's a black mecca and D.C. was a black mecca at one point, because at the end of the day, those cities are municipalities that are still checked by their state government. And so a state like Louisiana, which is 34% black, a city like Baton Rouge, which is 56% black, when you look at a majority black city that still has a majority white council, or when you look at Atlanta, where voter suppression is still in operation because Kemp, the governor, was the Secretary of State, suppressed the vote, and then when he's governor, we've got black folks standing in line like that. As long as the checks and balances are above us and they have the power of the state legislature, we are still in a battle. And so we've got to be deliberate about all politics being local and not just voting in this presidential election where Donald Trump, Agent Orange, is doing his thing. We've got to focus in on the people where that federal money and that state money comes down to the local level.
Yep.
Our school board in Baton Rouge is a $425 million budget. Our city of Baton Rouge is a $900 million budget. The state of Louisiana is a $27 billion budget. And when you talk about those resources and 98, 95% of those monies going to white businesses, well, that explains why black folks don't have the same level of income as white families, because the companies that we own do not get fed into by our tax dollars. And the assault on us is that they are taxing us, right, without giving us equal representation.
But this is also why, and when I did the State of Black America report in Indianapolis, this was October, and I said, if you were or are a public worker, stand up. Probably about 80% of the room stood up. And I tried to walk them through this thing. And I said, do y'all understand who actually controls Wall Street? And people looked at me like I was crazy. I said, this is who controls Wall Street, pension funds.
Yes, sir.
I said, pension funds are the ones who give billions of dollars to hedge funds. And I was on a call the other day on this exclusive app called Clubhouse, and a whole bunch of venture capitalists on there. And somebody asked me the question. They said, how do we change the VC world? I said, see, you focus on the wrong thing. You can't change the VC world unless you change the pension world. I said, because see, and then I said, where does the money come from in the pension world? It comes from the public workers. So really what has to happen, Gary, we've got to get these black folks who are public workers, who are retired teachers and police officers and firefighters and secretaries and janitors to say, you need to be mobilizing, saying, we're tired of all these white folks controlling the pension funds. We need to see black lawyers, black bondholders. I said, all of us, I said, if that level of people rise up, then you change the pension boards, then you change the Wall Street, then you change the venture capitalists. I said, it comes down to the money.
Yes, sir. And it starts at the grassroots level is what you're talking about. It starts at the local level because that's where we have the rubber meets the road. And if we stand up and use our power, we can effectuate change all over this country. I think we see it happening. I think that there is, I would say it like this, Roland. We don't all wake up at the same time in the morning, and all black folks don't become woke at the same time. But I do believe that the things that are happening in this country are waking some of us up. Our young people that are showing up in the streets protesting consistently and agitating against the police. Well, the longer that a police officer stays on the clock, I know you may think he's getting paid overtime, but he can't go home to his family and sleep. And in a COVID environment where cities' budgets are stretched, you're going to stretch that city's budget even further. And so we've got to be deliberate in every area. And what your suggestion is, well, those that have retirement plans and pension funds, you do your part at your level. Maybe your level isn't getting in the streets, but it's getting on the phone with your public officials and saying enough is enough.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, first of all, you got to be shocked at how this thing has spread. I mean, I saw entertainers and others. I mean, like Morning Joe reached out to you, all the rest of these people. And see, here's my whole deal. I'm glad those folks are posting those videos. But the reality is, I need them posting that kind of stuff every day, using their influence. And for the Morning Joes of the world to be calling folk like you on a regular basis versus having the Donnie Deutsches of the world saying the same bullshit he normally trickles out all the time. No, have real people who are on the ground speak. See, I ain't got a problem because the show is called Unfiltered.
I appreciate it, brother. You know, I quoted Pimp C this morning on Morning Joe because, you know, we out here, they rapping about it and we out here paying the price. And everyday advocates all over the country are doing their part on the local level. And so when I saw the shout out from LeBron James, man, I had to go and check it out and find out was it real for myself. Somebody sent me the screenshot. I was like, this can't be real because folks like me on the local level, we don't get to have these types of conversations.
Right.
We're fighting this fight every day. And so if I could, I would just say to LeBron, to Miss Ava DuVernay, to all of those people, call me and let's have a conversation about how we mobilize your resources and your influence on a local level all over the country. 55% of black folks live in the Deep South. Let's take the South over and create a new Black South. I'm about that, but I think that we've got to realize that there are those of us who do this work on a grassroots level that can lean information in with those resources. And when we bring in every aspect of what we do as black folks, we already know we magical, but how are we going to be powerful with that magic? And what are we going to do? My homeboy Ryan Thompson has a quote. He says, we treat our entertainers and rappers like scholars and our scholars like entertainers. And until we get to the point where we treat our people in our community that do this work with the honor, and listen, I appreciate the love and support, brother. I am mobilizing right now because I want to go all over the Deep South and train new black leaders because what you see is the passion of young people. And it's no disrespect to those who came before, but some of them have stayed over their due. And I'm 34, Roland. I'm not going to be 70 fighting these same battles. And I'm going to have that same tenacity. But we got to pass this knowledge down because there's brothers like Cleve Dunn and Edmund Jordan in Baton Rouge who shared knowledge with me when I was 29 years old and said, hey, brother, you got this media platform, but you ain't doing nothing with it. Lean in for your people, right? And so I've been doing this for the last 5 years, but we can turn this up. The beauty of this moment is, I think, like I said, we don't all wake up at the same time, but I do that alarm clock is going off, brother.
Well, I'll say this here. First of all, I saw Ava's tweet where she said, man, who is this brother? And then I went to your Twitter feed and I saw you were following me and your email was on there and I sent her your email.
Wow, I appreciate that, brother.
So
I met you at Essence a few years ago, and I'm definitely going to drop that picture. I know you meet a lot of people, but I've been a fan for years, brother, because you've been speaking truth to power in a way that many people don't appreciate. And for folks like me on the local level who need black folks to tell our stories, black man, I appreciate you and I love you to the moon for what you do. And I know that the reason you're not on CNN is because you are unapologetically black. And we as black folk got to say, Roland Martin is important to our culture. Roland Martin is important to our people. And we got to stand up with this black man because he's putting our platform out there where we can tell it without having to be sugarcoated. Roland, I put my Connie, go home Connie shirt on because I was coming on here with you because she got to go, baby. She got to go.
Absolutely.
She got to go.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, when you talk about all the Karens of the world, and trust me, I think you about
That's
to add
Karen Mama.
You about to
That's
add,
Karen Mama
you about to add the Connies to the world. And y'all do me a favor. See, this is just so y'all know. See, I pay attention to everything. This is when I knew when I saw the video. Before Gary said a word, y'all play the video. Look at Gary's left hand. He had the pimp hand position. He knew he about to smack y'all. Play the look. Watch the left hand, right there, right there. See, right there. Look, see. I need y'all to see. I need y'all to see. Come on back. Y'all need to see. Y'all see what he did? He put the hand. He put the hand out. Then he extended the hand like, now I'm about to smack the hell out of you right now.
Because I got you.
Oh, yeah.
I got you.
Absolutely.
We're going to get the business clear. And Roland, let me say this, brother. We as black folk cannot continue to let these folks slide. We are voters. We are taxpayers. Every time you go to the store and spend $1, the government is taking some of your money. Your check, the government is taking some of your money. Your property, the government is taking your money. Even if you are a renter,
come on.
When you pay your taxes, the people who pay the property taxes, take your rent money to pay those property taxes. So I'd be damned if we ought to be quiet and we ought to stand in their face and agitate them. Roland, there were young black protesters in Baton Rouge that took a protest to the district attorney's house because he ain't doing nothing about the injustices. And I want to talk to you at another time about the Baton Rouge 3 because Trump's DOJ is attempting to overcharge 3 young black people who committed simple arson, and now they're being charged with, what is it called? Interference with interstate commerce by Brandon Freeman, the U.S. attorney for the Middle District of Louisiana.
Okay. Well,
I just had to get that in there
fine.
because it's important because they are attempting to overcharge these people.
Well, we'll certainly have you back on, talk about that. And one of the reasons we created this platform, because there are a lot of activists like you who don't get called on national television unless a video picks up millions of followers. And so we've had many folks like you on for that very reason, to be able to bring light to sort of some of these issues. So we certainly will have you back, Gary Chambers. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Appreciate
Do good and seek justice.
Yes, sir. All right. Y'all know what time it is.
No charcoal grills are allowed.
I'm white. I got you, huh?
Illegally selling water without a permit
On my property.
Whoa! Hey!
You don't live here.
I'm uncomfortable.
So we ran up against another Karen Gregg in a convenience store. And let's just say, Reese, she got a little bold. She got a little loose with the language. And Erica, let's just say she met Layla Ali.
I'm not here, Karen. My husband is right there with his butt ass. Okay, I don't give a fuck.
All I said was excuse me.
The fuck? Watch your mouth. Watch your fucking mouth.
I said excuse me.
Okay, I said excuse me, and you got to have a room with me. You got to have a room with me. All I did was walk past you.
That's your
All I did
damn
was walk past you. You start talking about your black husband. I don't give a fuck about your black husband.
Excuse me.
Just because you suck black dick don't mean you're not a racist. You just suck all of it. You can call me a nigga all you want to. Bitch, I'm not fucking ass in this store, bitch. Call me a nigga again. Call me a nigga again. Call me a nigga again. Say the word nigga, bitch. I'm the right one. Try it. That's what the fuck I thought.
I said
Watch your fucking mouth.
excuse me.
The wrong nigga. I'm the wrong nigga. I beat your ass in this motherfucking store. Let me go, ho. Let me go. You better let me go. I'm gonna hit your ass again. You better let me go. You better let me go, bitch.
Hey, she's down.
Let me go.
I'm sorry to get in the middle, but she's down.
Let me go. 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 Keep calling me a nigger. Let me go. The fuck? Weird ass bitch.
Oh, you said excuse me.
I come to this bitch all the time. Bitch, I'm the right one. Call 911 and tell them.
Call 911 and tell them, Reese.
Well, and you notice she had the nerve to sit up there and say, all I said was excuse me. Now, bitch, you called her the N-word and she mollywopped you as she should. And to the bystander talking about, I hate to get in the middle of it, but she's down. So what? Knock her down some more. Because people need to learn. I'm tired of all these docile videos going viral where people let these white folks talk to them any old kind of way and everybody applauds them for how gracious they are and, oh, you were so poised and, oh, you just kept your composure. No, sometimes you need to knock some sense into some of these folks. And she got the sense knocked into her that day.
Greg, we keep warning them. Y'all gonna run up against the wrong one, and it ain't gonna end well.
Brother, in July 1919, Claude McKay published his poem, If We Must Die, Let Us Nobly Die. And when she says, call 911 and tell them, she's saying, you crossed the threshold where I don't even care about any consequences. Call whoever you want. And like you said, like we've been saying now for years at this point, you've been running crazy ass white people. She said the thing we always say, one day you're going to roll up on the right one. She said, I am the right one.
Right.
I mean, but there's so much going on in that video, brother. I mean, the ironies. Here, this white woman is with a mask on. Here, this sister is without a mask on. And you're looking at this, and so when she hits her, the whole thing is triggered by that white woman standing there, and you can see the wheels turning in her mind. Am I going to make a stand for my white nationalism and call this woman the N-word one more time? And when she finally decides to do it, she gets squared up and gets that two-piece, bang, bang. And like when the man says, she's down, that sister right there has not only put herself in danger, but I'll end with this. Like Claude McKay, when he wrote If We Must Die, it was during the Red Summer, brother. The big conflagration that happened in Chicago that summer, the race war that took place in Chicago, it is attested that they were throwing rocks at a black kid trying to swim in the river in Lake Michigan, and they start throwing rocks at him, and next thing you know, everything sets off. It might be a fist fight like that sends this country up in flames, brother. That's how close we are.
Absolutely.
So y'all better back up.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, fam, the folks at Seek.com, founded by Mary Spiel, a sister, of course. She is the inventor, the creator of these devices, this virtual reality headset right here. You saw it in the video there. And also the 360-degree 4D headphones. You can actually get these with a discount because they partner with us at Roland Martin Unfiltered. Right here, here's the code, RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020. First of all, folks, the headsets are phenomenal. The headphones are absolutely phenomenal. And of course, the VR headset is great because you just pop your phone, put it into the device, and then you can actually see video in virtual reality. So it's real cool. Go to Seek.com, Seek.com, CEEK.com, and use the promo code RMVIP2020. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is.
No charcoal grills are allowed.
I'm white. I got you, huh?
Illegally selling water without a permit
On my property.
Whoa! Hey!
You don't live here.
I'm uncomfortable.
All right, y'all. I'm going to start first off with this guy. Y'all, he has a different dress code for black children and white children. Y'all, watch this video.
The gentleman's already explained it to you.
Okay, tell it to me again. You telling me we cannot eat here?
So unfortunately, we do have a dress code. If you have some non-athletic shorts.
But that white kid out there can't eat here with his tennis shoes on and his athletic shirt.
So we allow tennis shoes, but not athletic shorts and t-shirts.
He has on you telling me that's not an athletic shirt? Not that one, but you telling me that little boy who just ate here does not have on an athletic shirt?
I'm sorry. I would love for you to be able to come back and eat here.
So you telling me my son can't eat here because he has on athletic stuff?
No, just the shorts. It is part of our dress code. We try to enforce
So it's only his shorts? Only the shorts can't be athletic?
The shorts and the t-shirt, yes.
But the little boy has on an athletic, the little white kid that just sat out there had on an athletic tennis shoes and an athletic shirt.
I understand that you're upset. If there's
No, it's not that I'm upset. The little boy out there had on athletic, you telling me it's no athletic wear. The little boy out there had on athletic tennis shoes and an athletic shirt. So why does he get to wear athletic wear and my son can't?
I would love for you to be able to come back. Do you live close enough for your son to change?
No, I don't. I just want to know why it's different for my son.
I understand how you feel.
I don't want you to sympathize with me. I just want you to tell me why it's different for my son. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just asking you why it's different for my son.
I understand.
Then that little kid that was out there with athletic tennis shoes and...
The t-shirt that the little kid was wearing, we don't consider that to be athletic t-shirt.
Why?
Honestly, I did not get a good look, but it looked like a regular t-shirt.
I have a video. Do you want to see it?
If you would like to show it to me, I'm happy to look, but I do have to...
Brittany, this was a restaurant in Baltimore owned by the Atlas Restaurant Group. They released this statement. Today we learned of an incredibly disturbing incident that occurred over the weekend at one of our restaurants in Baltimore, Ouzo Bay. The video made public earlier today was by a very concerned mother after she and her young son were denied seating dining service at the restaurant due to the son not meeting the dress code requirements. The video clearly shows the woman's son, an African-American young person, wearing athletic shorts and an Air Jordan shirt. The video also shows a Caucasian youth dressed similarly who was permitted to dine in the restaurant. This should never have happened. The manager seen in the video has been placed on indefinite leave. We are sickened by this incident. We sincerely apologize to Marsha Grant, her son, and everyone impacted by this painful incident. They go on and on and on. Explaining this, they said we've taken the time to gather the facts and repeatedly reviewed the video and interview employees. As a result, we immediately revised our dress code policy so the children 12 years old and younger who are accompanied by an adult will not be subject to a dress code at any Atlas property. We have addressed the issue with all managers and key staff at all properties and have spoken to many stakeholders who have contacted us. Last line, we know we failed in this instance and sincerely hope to be afforded the opportunity to meet with Marsha Grant and her son, who both deserve better.
We are so tired. I mean, the interesting thing is this is just one of those moments that was caught on camera, and she had, a white youth that she was able to prove, that this is unequal and this is not fair. But how many times do we not have our cameras readily available? Or how many times do we know we saw someone walk in the back of the restaurant that has on the same attire, but we're being denied access? These things happen in restaurants. It happens at nightclubs. I'm in no way surprised. Business as usual, dining while black. We can make a little acronym for that because we know our experiences are different wherever we go. And that's just the reality of us having black skin living in a racist, white supremacist country. I'm glad that they made a public statement. But again, what would have happened if she wouldn't have been able to record it?
And again, what you're dealing with here is like, you know I can see him. Like, he's right there. Oh, no. That's not an athletic shirt. That's a T-shirt. But it's not an athletic shirt. Okay. You want to support Roland Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible.
Folks, I came across this video. Y'all know I don't waste no time watching Fox News. But I came across this video. Shannon Watts, of course, who is a huge advocate for gun rights. I mean, huge advocate for gun control. My Lord. Okay, Mom's Demand. Y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. She posted this video. And when I say I absolutely cracked up laughing, you know, we always talk about what happened when the planters rode with those long rifles in Sacramento in the state capitol. Them white folks moved real quick to ban those guns in the state capitol. This was an interview that she did with Ed Henry, Kelly Loeffler, of course, United States Senator from Georgia. Y'all, this is just hilarious. Watch.
Not every day you see people carrying long guns in big cities in America. What is happening on the streets of Atlanta this morning?
Well, Ed, this is totally unacceptable. We cannot allow mob rule. We're a nation of the rule of law, and this is exactly what will happen if we defund the police. And that's exactly what the Democrats want to do. They have a move to defund, to dismantle law enforcement. I have stood strong with law enforcement from day one. I've recently introduced legislation that penalizes states and municipalities that move to defund without a budgetary reason by withholding federal highway safety transportation funds. So I stand strong with law enforcement. We need to bring the Justice Act to the floor. We need to have that debate. Our country expects us to do that.
I'll get to that bill in a moment. But in the meantime, when you've got people with 12-gauge shotguns saying, we're keeping the police out, you know, what in the world do you do about that? It has to make people wonder at a time when we keep hearing about sick calls in the Atlanta Police Department, some police officers not wanting to come to work because they don't think local officials have their backs.
Well, this is exactly what I've been warning about with the defund the police movement. It hurts all communities. It hurts everyone in our country when we don't have law and order, when we have mob rule. This is the vision that the Democrats have for our country. It's a great example of why we need to move this bill to the floor, why we need to stand strong with strengthening law enforcement, to rooting out bad apples. Everyone wants that. We all agree. And this can't be politicized. We've got to protect our citizens.
Well, on your last point there, we thought there was agreement potentially on police reform after these tragic deaths in Atlanta, Minneapolis, other places. Obviously, Democrats have been saying we need to pass this police reform bill. Now yourself, Tim Scott, and other Republicans have put their plan out.
I don't recall Kelly Loeffler, Reese, saying jack when white folks in Michigan and Wisconsin and Georgia and Texas were parading around with their guns at the state capitol when they were inside of the Michigan State Capitol, blocking folks from getting to the governor's office.
And in the police officers' faces, shouting them down. They were armed. None of them got shot. None of them even got roughed up. And so Republicans are exposing themselves for the hypocrites that they are. Yeah, those black folks with them big-ass guns look very scary to these white Republicans. They look very scary to these white nationalists, that their mob rule is being threatened because they do not want to see black people rise up and exercise their constitutional rights to bear arms. And so, yeah, they can have these folks that are just simply standing there. They're not committing any crimes. They're exercising their constitutional rights, which the Republicans are supposedly for. That looks scary to them. Well, that looks a lot more reassuring to me than all those white folks on the armed in these capitals talking about don't wear a mask and we need to end the quarantine.
And here we go, Erica. This is the video in Michigan. Look, we got fatigues. My man got his gun and I didn't hear Kelly and Fox News saying mob rule.
No, because those are the same listeners of Fox News. And it's so interesting to hear Kelly Loeffler talk about law and order. She is the richest person in Congress. And this is the same person whose investigation around insider trading was politely folded up by the Department of Justice. So where was the law and order around her insider trading when she got that Senate coronavirus briefing and then magically sold a lot of stock? So what we're hearing is more of the same, of Republicans talking in sound bites, talking about really when Black people stand in their power, how that then threatens white rule. And I'm glad. I cannot wait to continue to see more Black people stand in their power, more Black folks make sure that they are going to get weapons training if they've not gotten weapons training. Stand in your political power, because as you saw in the video that you just showed, white people continue to do that. They spit, they share their droplets, and you see law enforcement does not engage them in the same way that they do with Black folks. So really, Kelly Loeffler, and really glad that that seat that she was appointed to is definitely one that's a hotly contested seat in Georgia, somebody who is deserving, who is not just someone who happens to be married to the president of the New York Stock Exchange, just has that kind of like, wealth ability to be able to assume the seat, but someone who actually is for the people, that would carry the message for the people to the halls of the Senate.
Greg, oh my God, look at those Black people with those big guns. Well, look at these white people in Michigan with the big guns. What about iPad? Look at that, Greg. I mean, goodness. I'm sorry. Look like the white folks in Michigan had ordered from the same big gun place as the Black folks, but no. When the Negroes go get big guns, we got to pass some laws.
Well, brother, the anchor there,
Ed Henry,
had the fear in his voice that remember when Robert Williams told the story about how in North Carolina, when the white boys showed up with their guns, and then Robert and Mabel Williams and all them had their guns, that they made them so nervous that the white police dropped their guns out of fear. That story, by the way, is in this book right here, Negroes with Guns. This is the book, 1962. Robert Williams says, "Why do I speak to you from exile?" Because he was in Cuba, he and Mabel Williams. "Because a Negro community in the South took up guns in self-defense against racist violence and used them. I am held responsible for this action, that for the first time in history, American Negroes have armed themselves as a group to defend their homes, their wives, their children in a situation where law and order had broken down and the authorities could not or would not force and protect American citizens." This is what Robert Williams said finally. "I accept this responsibility and I am proud of it." Hey, Fox News, come on, baby. If we must die, let us nobly die. But what did Robert Williams and them find out? When we pulled our guns out, them white boys got so scared they dropped their guns. And like Erica said, we're going to have to deal with Kelly Loeffler in a few months. You got a brother coming on in a minute that's going to whip her like she stole something. So,
all right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
All right, fam, the folks at Seek.com, founded by Mary Spio, a sister, of course. She is the inventor, the creator of these devices, this virtual reality headset right here. You saw it in the video there. And also these 360-degree 4D headphones. You can actually get these with a discount because they partner with us at Roland Martin Unfiltered. Right here, here's the code, RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020. First of all, folks, the headsets are phenomenal. The headphones are absolutely phenomenal. And of course, the VR headset is great because you just pop your phone, put it into the device, and you can actually see video in virtual reality. So it's real cool. Go to Seek.com, Seek.com, CEEK.com, and use the promo code RMVIP2020. One of the cops, of course, who was involved in the death of George Floyd, who's out on bail, actually was shopping this weekend. And there was a woman who ran to him. Let's just say she wasn't too happy to see him shopping. Press play.
What's your name?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
It is you. Mm-hmm. So you're out of prison.
Yes.
And you're comfortably shopping in Cub Foods. As if you didn't do anything.
I wouldn't call it comfortably. I'd just say getting necessities or helping.
I don't think you should have that right. I don't even think you should be out on bail.
I can understand.
I mean, how does it feel?
I'm sorry you feel that way.
No, you're not sorry. Like, you're literally outside here comfortably as if you didn't kill that man. Did you think that people weren't going to recognize you? Honestly, did you? You don't have the right to be here. You killed somebody in cold blood. You do not have the right to be here.
I'll get my stuff paid for.
No, we don't want you to get your stuff. We want you to be locked up. You're honestly in Cub Foods comfortably shopping out of prison. Like, do you feel any remorse for what you did? Do you? This is the officer who was let out of jail today for shooting George Floyd. Or, I'm sorry, suffocating him. You're not going to be able to comfortably go around Minnesota like this. I pulled up the picture. I knew it was you.
One more minute.
It's just like, he was there when they were killing him. And it's just like, this is crazy that you're here just thinking everything's okay. I mean, you don't want to apologize. You don't want to say anything. Like, no. Because this video is going to be on the internet. Yeah, he has the nerve to literally come outside thinking that we don't know what he looks like. How dare you? You're not going to be able to comfortably live in Minnesota after this, or anywhere. And you will be going back to jail. Trust. Trust. Yeah, he bailed out. How'd you get the money? How'd you get the money? And you're lucky that they don't have your address. You're lucky that they don't have your address. Hi. This is one of the police officers that was involved in killing George Floyd. He was out on bail today, and he's over here comfortably shopping in Cub Foods as if.
Avis, is she right? Is she wrong? Should she have shot that video and distributed it on the internet?
I can understand the frustration. I'm sure that Mr. Floyd would like to be out getting his necessities too, but he can't because he's dead. And his family will never see him again. So he doesn't have those choices. And, I think she was angry. She was upset. And he's fine. He gonna go home tonight and eat those Oreos. Ain't nothing gonna bother him. I honestly, I can't muster up an ounce of sympathy for him.
Eugene.
Look, if we're gonna push for a fair justice system, part of that fair justice system is that we all play by the same rules. He was able to bond out. I would like to find out how he came up with whatever is required for the $1 million bond. I think most of folk will have a hard time coming up with either the 10% or the value for $1 million bond. But I think it's fine for her to shoot that video. I think at this point, he's a public figure or was a public servant. So either way, she's in the clear. And look, it should be uncomfortable for him. If he wanted comfortability, he should, protect and serve, and that protect life part of that protect and serve. So, I'm 100% okay with it.
Mustafa.
$100,000 to be able to get out of jail. And I was sitting here thinking about the tens of thousands of black and brown men, probably more than that, hundreds of thousands, who haven't been able to raise the funds, so they had to sit in jail. Sometimes when they weren't even guilty. So, when we think about it in that context, it becomes even more egregious.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Unfiltered video in just one moment. Look at Seek.com with a partnership with him. Where, of course, Mary Spiel, she's the founder of Seek.com. She is the inventor of these 360-degree 4D headphones. Unbelievable sound. Folks, you can use this for gaming. You can also, of course, with music, videos, you name it. And so what's great about this is that the sound actually, so when you're listening, it literally travels all around your head as opposed to normal headphones. And so I really, really do like these listening to music. Like I say, they have a microphone that you can attach to it, but you can use this when you're playing video games. And so they have a partnership with them. So if you want to buy these headphones, you go to Seek.com, but use this promo code RMVIP2020. RMVIP2020 to actually join. So please take advantage of that. Every single night, we've got some of the top black experts. You're not going to see them on cable news or broadcast news because you swear black people aren't experts when it comes to this health crisis. That's why we have this show and why we do what we do every day on Roland Unfiltered. Joining us right now is retired General Russell Honore, the nation's first black Surgeon General. Dr. Joycelyn Eldridge. John Hope Bryant, he is the founder of Operation Hope. Senator Kamala Harris of California. Dr. Cedrina Calder, retired General Lloyd Austin. Congresswoman Karen Bass, Commissioner Omari Hardick. Bureau President in Brooklyn, Eric Adams. Dr. Joseph Graves. America's Wealth Coach, Deborah Owens. Dr. Corey Abear, Patel Salt. Howard University student. Pastor Jamal Bryant, Dr. Christy McDowell, Benja Ajilore, senior economist at the Center for American Progress. Gilda Daniels, again, author of the book, The Crisis of Voter Suppression in America. 4 stars, General Kip Ward. Dr. Oliver Brooks is president of the National Medical Association, president of the American Medical Association. Dr. Patrice Harris. Joby Benjamin, Dr. Alexia Gaffney, infectious disease specialist. Dr. Georges Benjamin, executive director of the American Public Health Association. Malcolm Nance, family medicine physician, Dr. Jen Caudle. Dr. Tashaka Cunningham, a molecular biologist. Kat Stafford, she's a national race and ethnicity reporter for the Associated Press. Dr. Wayne A.I. Frederick, who is the president of Howard University. Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from the state of New York. William Spriggs, AFL-CIO economist. Andrea James, executive director of the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls. All right, let's go to Capitol Hill. Congressman Gregory Meeks, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson of Texas, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, mental health clinician Jamie Singletary, Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Bradeboy, as well as Dylan Hayrie, ACLU Justice Division strategist. Dr. Cindy Duke, she is a virologist. Principal Steve Perry of Capitol Prep. Health and wellness specialist Dr. Yolandra Hancock. Desmond Meade, president of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Cliff Albright, who is the co-founder of Black Voters Matter. Michael Harriet with The Root. Lamina McWhorter, founder of Love by the Hand. Dr. Julianne Malveaux, economist president, Emerita Bennett College. Coroner Michael Fowler is the mayor of Atlanta. Keisha Lance Bottoms, mental health therapist Suzette Clark. Justin Gibney, attorney and political strategist, and Bishop Vincent Matthews Jr. Dr. Suzette McKinney, CEO and executive director of the Illinois Medical District. Dr. Leon Madugal, president-elect of the National Medical Association. Jana Bailey, mayor of Moss Point, Mississippi. Mario King. We're going to keep driving this thing to make sure our people are fully aware, safe, protected from coronavirus. You getting the top medical experts, top business experts, top political experts, top religious experts, because that's why we do what we do. Unapologetically and unfiltered. Ain't nobody else in the black media space doing what we do. Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible.
Charcoal grills are allowed.
I'm white. I got you, huh?
Yeah, illegally selling water without a permit
On my property.
Whoa! Hey! Give us your ID. You don't live here.
I'm uncomfortable.
All right, Amisha, I'll say this last one for you. This is probably one of the wildest Karens we've had to encounter.
Karen, are you okay?
I understand what happened.
Can you explain to me calmly?
No, because you're attacking me right now.
I'm not attacking you. Ma'am, you flicked me off.
You're ready to take it.
Guys, this is her license plate number. She lives here. This is her address.
No, this is not true. No.
Karen, you flipped me off.
No,
you cut me off and flipped me off, and now you're playing the victim. Ma'am, would you like to calm down? Guys, she flipped me off. She literally flipped me off, and then she tried to come home. She's Karen. Karen, would you like to calm down and have a conversation? Why you? Am I attacking her? Ma'am, I'm not attacking you. You flipped me off, and you thought you could get away with it. You didn't think I would find you.
I will talk to you if you will stop.
She can apologize for calling me a nigger and flipping me off. I'm trying to talk to you. My name is Carlos. Would you like to speak to me? This is what we get. Ma'am, why are you sitting here crying? What have I done to you? Ma'am, what have I done to you?
You're gonna ruin my life.
So you can go around the city and flip people off and cut me off. So you didn't flip me off. Ma'am, I'm trying to let you talk. Do you know her? You cannot sit. She literally flipped me off. She cut me off. I have it on camera. She flipped me off 3 blocks away, and then she slammed on her brakes. I have it on my Instagram. And then I got on my car and I was like, ma'am, why are you following me? Why? She literally followed me. So then I followed her back home. And I said, ma'am, why are you being harassing me? Ma'am, listen for about what? Can I speak to
you? You're going to ruin my life and you don't even know me. See, Amisha, I keep trying to tell these white folk, y'all might want to stop acting a fool. Now, she did all that screaming, covered up a license plate. Boo, you've gone viral. You've gone viral. But again, there are these people who think they can call us the N-word, treat us like crap, but when they get hit with this is the great equalizer. And I'm sorry, I have absolutely no compassion for her.
She wasn't bothered by anything except the fact that this was going to be released. If she was so worried, she would not have cut this man off, called him the N-word, followed him, because this was, in his iteration, he was following her back. She was more afraid of being identified and outed for exactly what she did than she was bothered by her own activities. Then she gets down in the fetal position and starts wailing and acting like she was so afraid as though this man was charging at her or beating her or something. He's standing many yards back and recording. At the end of the day, it frustrates me that there are a lot of white people who are more afraid of a camera being shown after they've committed said racist acts than they are of committing said racist acts to begin with. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that the veil of the camera today has been lifted and that corporations, businesses, friends and neighbors and everyone else is paying attention to people for doing their everyday white racist things.
And again, I'll just keep trying to explain to these people, Brittany. If y'all go out there acting a fool, your ass might be featured in Crazy Ass White People segment.
Listen, sure will. And that's on them. I mean, I love Amisha's point. At the end of the day, she didn't care about what she did. She didn't care about being the racist Karen that she was. She cared that she was about to get caught. She was going to go viral and she potentially could lose her job. That's all she cared about. And I've never seen anything like that. Was an adult throwing a full-on tantrum. That man was nowhere near her. And the scary part is, let the wrong person have been there or let him not got it on camera. The way that she was wailing, if the police showed up, we know how that goes. Scary times.
Pola can't, but did y'all miss the part where she said, I have a black husband? Y'all missed that part?
Yes, I missed that. Oh, wow.
Y'all got to pay attention, y'all. She said, in her wailing, I have a black husband.
No.
Now here's the deal. I told y'all I don't spend Fox News scared to call me. They ain't gonna call me. Okay, I ain't the right kind of black. But I saw this here, and I want y'all to listen. I want y'all to listen to what the white woman says. And then I want y'all to look at the picture while she's saying it. Check this out.
Marie, the founder of BET is going to be on with me in the next hour on Outnumbered Overtime. And one of the points he makes is that, in a lot of ways, black people are being left out of this conversation. That as you sit there and there's the rioters and there's the debate about it and there's the violence, and you're not necessarily hearing from the people who it impacts what their thoughts are. And it's not coming through amid all of the violence and, the pictures on television and even the conversations that are happening on TV. What are your thoughts?
Oh, okay. I want you. Hold up. Go back. Go back. Go to my iPad. 1, 2, 3, 4 white women, 1 black guy. Okay, I you know what? She got to play it again, y'all. Listen what she says.
The founder of BET is going to be on with me in the next hour.
Okay, you said he's going to FaceTime me.
And one of the points he makes is that, in a lot of ways, black people are being left out of this conversation. That as you sit there and there's the rioters and there's the debate about it, there's the violence, and you're not necessarily hearing from the people who it impacts what their thoughts are. And it's not coming through amid all of the violence and, the pictures on television and even the conversations that are happening on TV. What are your thoughts?
Right there. Go back. 1, 2, 3, 4 white women. But y'all about to hear who gets to answer that question first. Watch this.
In many communities, that conversation is happening, and it's including a diverse cross, section of Americans and of.
So, I'm sorry, the black guy didn't get the question first. The black guy didn't get. Here's what gets me with this one, Greg. Fox News, y'all part of the problem. Y'all ain't having black people on talking about it because y'all are focused on the protesters and the rioters and the looters because you're not having real dialogue. Not on Sean Hannity, not on Laura Ingraham, not on Shannon Bream, not on Tucker Carlson, not on Martha McCallum, not on Brett Baier, none of these shows. But the fact that she literally asked that question with 1 black dude on the panel, and he didn't even get the black question.
Well, Roland, it's funny. There are a lot of people who watch Roland Martin Unfiltered who are not black. But like August Wilson said, I don't write my plays for a black audience or a white audience. I write my plays out of the black experience. And then it resonates with people where they are. You are bringing the news and information out of our experience, and it resonates with people where they are. What they don't understand at Fox, and for that matter in commercial news, entertainment, media generally, is that by not including us in the conversation really, they are deluding themselves. Remember how Invisible Man opens Ralph Ellison's novel where the white dude gets beat up by the protagonist in the novel, but the guy still can't see him because he's denied his humanity for so long, he thinks nobody beat him up. When this thing is crumbling all around you and you continue to engage in this kind of foolishness like what you just saw, when it falls apart in your face, there will be nobody in this country who will be more shocked than those who were deluded into thinking they were dealing with reality by watching Fox instead of Roland Martin Unfiltered. All they doing is hurting themselves in the long run, brother.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe this, Reese. I mean, black people aren't being heard. Like, they're not being heard. What do you think, Becky?
And y'all don't want to hear from us, which is why you're watching Fox News, which is why you have a panel full of white women to, what is it, black-splain or is it white-splain? When white people are explaining how black people feel to other white people. Whatever it is, it's completely ridiculous. And Brother Man was giving, the eyebrow raise, but that's where you got to jump in a little bit. Come on, man. You got to be like, speaking of black people, what did Kamala Harris say on the debate stage? As the only black person on the stage, I would like to have a comment. That's where he needed to jump in. No,
Reese, I got you there. Because guess what? He tried.
Okay.
Go to the iPad, please.
Nobody gets held responsible, so that's pretty convenient.
Okay.
That sounds like a great way to do it.
Of course, it's no. Yes, of course it's an organization. Of course it has a hierarchy. When corporations say they support the organization, they're not giving the money to random people on the street. They're giving the money to these organizations that do have particular policy positions. In this case, I actually just want to applaud this individual for being honest about his aims. He made a comparison that Marie Harf also made during this show, that sometimes you need to do violent revolution to overthrow things you don't like. You know, comparing George Washington to Saddam Hussein, and that it's therefore okay to tear down both of their statues.
I did
but
not
he was being very
compare
honest
George
about,
Washington to Saddam Hussein, Molly.
Hang on, let her finish.
That's ridiculous.
Right. So,
well, I didn't make that comparison.
The claim
and I'm
is
not
that
going to let her say it.
Hang on, let her finish, Marie. Go ahead, Molly.
The claim is that it's okay to tear down statues, which this week have included George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and other people like that, and abolitionists, because it's just like what we did when we did a regime change war in Iraq, where we helped people tear down statues of Saddam Hussein. And I'm just making the point that that's what this individual is saying as well. He's saying that this is a corrupt and systematically evil and racist country, and that there needs to be a destruction of our constitutional system of government to accomplish his political aims. That's actually what Black Lives Matter has been saying the whole time, and it's why the group is not universally loved outside of, corporations and mainstream media because of these things that they say. And it's not just political. The group also says that they call for the destruction of the norm, that it is best for children to be raised by their mother and father in a married, family. That is actually one of the most important things that I think people should be thinking about, because being raised in a two-parent home by your parents is actually the best thing that can be done to keep you from having bad educational outcomes. If you're raised by your married parents, you graduate high school, you have an increased likelihood of going to college, you're less likely to be addicted to drugs, you're less likely to be incarcerated. There are a lot of good and healthy outcomes associated with being raised by married parents. And that's the one thing that nobody seems to be talking about in this discussion, even though it would be the most important thing if we actually cared about the lives of Black people and other people in this country.
The problem is, although
Molly, I compared Confederate generals to Saddam Hussein, and for you to say that I compared George Washington to Saddam Hussein is disgraceful, Molly. I'm sorry. That is completely unacceptable and inappropriate.
And it's not what I did. What Melissa was saying earlier is
hang on.
Newsom was that he really
devolve into a shouting fest here. Let's leave it there.
He could have. Brother man could have done more than that. I don't care what you say, Roland. He could have said, as the only Black person. And the white lady was going to shut him down anyway. But at least, come on, brother man. You're going to be on Fox, have some dignity. But I'm not going to blame his lack of dignity and his lack of willingness to stand up completely on him, because obviously Fox News is a white nationalist channel. And,
But he works there. That's that dude, Lawrence, whatever his name is.
Oh, I don't know him. I've never seen him.
He's out of Texas. He don't be saying nothing. But but the thing is, Black people, they can't speak, and the Black dude can't speak.
Well, they can speak, brother. I mean, like you said, in that previous thing. In fact, I reached for it while we were over here. Here's another one. This is Nicholas Johnson's book. You might have to put this in Roland's book club. Negroes and the Gun. If y'all can see that, the Black tradition of arms.
Yes, sir.
Black people speak. It's just that white people don't listen to their peril. That's why they're looking around now like, well, where did this come from? What do you mean? We've been saying this all along. If you don't listen to us, you'll suffer the consequences. We're not going to be the one that suffers the consequences. So if the brother wants to get his check, be quiet, kind of jump in there. And like you said, the optic of it says everything. There are no white men there. You are surrounded by white women. If you can't, to Reese's point, if you can't say anything then, that's all right, brother. Because this conversation we're having every night on Roland Martin Unfiltered, this is where the conversation is. So when the thing blows up, I guess he'll probably find his voice then at that point. That's probably when he'll find it. And at that point, it'll be too late.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, fam, the folks at Seek.com, founded by Mary Spio, a sister, of course,
She is the inventor, the creator of these devices, this virtual reality headset right here. You saw it in the video there. And also the 360-degree 4D headphones. You can actually get these with a discount because they partner with us at Roland Martin Unfiltered. Right here, here's the code, RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020. First of all, folks, the headsets are phenomenal. The headphones are absolutely phenomenal. And of course, the VR headset is great because you just pop your phone, put it into the device, and you can actually see video in virtual reality. So it's real cool. Go to seek.com, seek.com, and use the promo code RMVIP2020.
You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible.
All right, folks, a number of online folks have been running these various ads targeting Donald Trump. Now, many of these organizations have been nailing him. One of those, of course, is Project Lincoln. They have been getting under Donald Trump's skin. Of course, he's really upset after this weekend when he had his so-called big rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 19,000-seat venue, but it was only a third filled. And boy, his camp is blaming protesters for blocking the entrances. They even, of course, you even had these teenagers these K-pop folks who also got themselves a bunch of tickets to boost up the numbers and making them think they actually had 1 million requests. Boy, this has been pretty hilarious. And so Project Lincoln put together these videos. Watch this. They've been really ticking Donald Trump off.
Before Donald Trump comes to Tulsa, remember what real leaders sound like.
Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice.
Too often we honor swagger and bluster and the wielders of force. Too often we excuse those who are willing to build their own lives on the shattered dreams of other human beings.
Now those who divide speak.
And I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
I agree that looters ought to be shot, yes.
On sight?
On sight. The Negro and white citizen of this state are against the breakdown of law and order.
You have to dominate the streets. Please don't be too nice. Very fine people on both sides.
When you hear leaders speak, you know who they are, who they represent, and what kind of America they'll create. The Lincoln Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hey, Donald, your campaign manager told you 1 million fans wanted to come to your first big rally. Turnout in Tulsa? A dud. You've probably heard this before, but it was smaller than we expected. It sure wasn't as big as you promised. Honestly, we're not surprised. We've seen that you're shaky, can't keep your polls up, and it's getting worse. You talk a big game.
The event in Oklahoma is unbelievable. The crowds are unbelievable. They haven't seen anything like it.
And can't deliver. Sad, weak, low energy. Just like your presidency. Just like you. The Lincoln Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.
isn't he so sad? Joining us right now is John Weaver, one of the founders of Project Lincoln. John, glad to have you here. Project Lincoln, a group of longtime Republicans who have been embarrassed and ashamed at not just Donald Trump, but also the Republicans who allow him to do what he does.
That's right. I mean, we're not just going after the president for all his conduct and behavior that you chronicled so well, but he wouldn't be this powerful party in so many sectors had he subjugated himself.
Hold tight 1 second, John. Hold on 1 second. We're having a slight issue with your audio. So, folks, if y'all could go ahead and get that resolved and then let me know when it's fixed. Okay? Do we have the audio fixed? All right, just let me know when you have the audio fixed, and then we'll get that taken care of. I want to introduce my panel, Dr. Avis Jones-DeWeaver. She's a political analyst. Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor to the Environmental Justice EPA. Also Eugene Craig, CEO of the Eugene Craig Organization, and also a member of Project Lincoln. So let me know when we have John's audio fixed. Eugene, I want to start with you before I go back to John once we have that fixed. I mean, this has been driving Donald Trump crazy. He literally spent a lot of time at his rally trying to beat back a couple of the ads that they've dropped because they've been just hammering him. They're in his head. Eugene, your mic is probably muted. You got to unmute your mic.
Talk about the residual multiplier of going at Donald Trump the way you have to go at him. What's been missing from the
Hold on, same thing. Hold tight 1 second. Same thing. Lots of feedback on your system. Guys, get Eugene fixed. I want to go back to John Weaver. John Weaver, so folks, please get the audio straight for our panelists. John, back to you. You're making your comments. Go ahead.
No, I mean, we're going to go right at Donald Trump every day until actually January 20th, when Vice President Biden is sworn in as president. But much of the problem we're facing in this country is that we have a Republican Senate that has subjugated themselves to Donald Trump, and they have enabled him and his worst instincts. And generally, all you hear from them are crickets, quite frankly. It's shameful behavior, and we're going to prosecute the case against them just as well.
And I mean, look, this is a significant piece here because obviously he despises never-Trumpers. But the reality is, John, there are a lot of Republicans who fell in line, who frankly have been drunk with power. And that's really what this has all been about. They'll complain privately about Donald Trump, but then go right ahead. I mean, even though John Bolton is running around with his book right now, I mean, the Donald Trump you see today, we knew in 2015. We knew in 2011 when he was a birther. But Bolton wanted to work for him. Look, I get Senator Mitt Romney all of a sudden trying to, make the case and complaining about Trump. But Mitt Romney actually interviewed and wanted to be his Secretary of State. And so where I come from, if you know who a person is, you don't want to associate with them at all.
Well, look, Roland, I was watching the SEC Nation the other day, and I forget who said this, but if someone tells you who they are, believe them. Don't try to convince yourself that that there's somebody else. And like you, I fought against Donald Trump since he first arrived on the political scene. And I knew he was a racist and a fraud and a jerk. And unfortunately, I think partly out of careerism and cowardice, the Republican Party rolled over for him. He only wanted to rent it. He treats the Republican Party like it's a rented car. And they still subjugate themselves to him. But from our viewpoint, because it is our party that has rolled out the carpet for him and allowed him to roam the countryside like a zombie from Night of the Living Dead, we have an obligation to fight back, and not just against him, but against the people who allowed this to happen.
Well, especially when you look at Senator Lindsey Graham, who had all these things to say about Donald Trump when he was running, and now all of a sudden, he's just fabulous and he's wonderful. And then you have, of course, Mitch McConnell. All he cares about are confirming judges, and he'll do whatever. And then what happened to the Freedom Caucus, the so-called, fiscal conservatives? They've said nothing about the exploding debt that has happened as well. I mean, what he has done is he has simply just snatched the guts out of all of these people who were so-called principled, including what I call these fake conservative evangelicals who support this guy.
Well, as you and I both know, and I think we've talked about it before, much of the evangelical movement is based on race. And I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that, but that is indeed the case. And he didn't just take their courage or their spine. With a lot of these Republican office holders, I think he holds their testicles in a jar on their desk. I mean, what are they afraid of? Being tweeted at? What are they going to tell their children and their grandchildren during this time period what they did? It's remarkably shameful, and we're obviously angry about it, but we're trying to be focused and bring about a message that can attract enough Republicans and disaffected Republicans and independents to make sure that we don't have a close election in the fall.
And y'all have been putting out a number of these ads, and so the goal is to raise more money, and also you're also targeting these ads to run in battleground states. Democrats only need 4 seats, a net gain of 4 seats to take over the United States Senate. Is that also part of the plan?
It is part of the plan. I mean, we're focused on an ever-growing number of U.S. Senate seats. Roland, we've run ads, I think, in 6 or 7. We're going to be involved in 3 or 4 more, and consistently in a handful. And remember, Trump became president because of 77,000 votes spread over 3 big states. But now we have a multiple number of states that he carried against Secretary Clinton that Vice President Biden either has a significant lead in or is tied in. And so, but we're also looking up and down the ballot. In Texas, the Democrats are only 5 or 6 seats away from taking over the Texas House. And look, if we get rid of Trump this cycle, we still have the Tom Cottons and the Josh Hawleys and the Ron DeSantis and the Greg Abbotts to deal with. So, there'll be future episodes of, Night of the Living Dead searching for crazy MAGA zombies. We're not dead. We're not going to be through.
All right. Well, look, we certainly have, we look at those ads, have run a number of those, and it is good to see that there are Republicans who say, look, we're still Republicans, but we simply cannot stand and support this disgraceful person sitting in the Oval Office.
Yeah, that's right, Roland. And look, there's a need for a center-right party in this country, but the first thing we got to do is burn the one down to the ground that doesn't care about the Constitution, the rule of law, or treating every American with the respect and love that each person in this country deserves. And until that happens, we're going to continue to fight.
All right. John Weaver, Project Lincoln, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
All right, gig 'em.
Gig 'em. Let's go to Eugene Craig, who is, of course, a part of this. Eugene Craig, people should not underestimate this organization. Again, the ads that they're putting out can have an impact when it comes to appealing to those Republicans disaffected with Trump, but also independents.
Yeah, and the thing is this, right? You got to swing at Trump in a way that gives the same energy that Trump sends out. And that's what Project Lincoln's doing. It's something that, the Republicans haven't done and something the Democrats haven't done. And it's a wide open lane that has to be occupied. And it's something that I'm really excited about. And I'll tell you this, it's something that there are a lot of black Republicans that aren't Trumpers, that have been around for a while. By for a while, I mean, they put their time into the party, and they're looking up and they're seeing, hey, this is the party I subscribe to. And look, they have a home they can find here at Project Lincoln, and probably another organization that may pop up. But the thing is this: you got to swing at Trump, and you got to swing at Trump. You got to swing at him hard. I love Michelle Obama, and I do think in most circumstances when they go low, you go high. But when it comes to Donald Trump, the only way to take him down is when he go low. You have to take him to the ground.
Look, Avis, Eugene is absolutely right. Look, let's just be real clear. Republicans know how to do messaging. It goes all the way back to Reagan's right-hand man. They understand bumper sticker slogans. They understand those things. In fact, folks, we're going to have it in another. But guys, if y'all could get that Confederate ad ready from the Lincoln Project, it's a perfect example when they set it up: America or Trump. I mean, it's about messaging to an audience and framing it in a way that they actually understand, Avis.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely is. I have to say, I love the Lincoln Project. I'm like their biggest fans. I'm already looking for the next commercial to come out, specifically because of not only how they frame and how clear and stark their messaging is, but they understand the importance of visual. They understand the importance of innuendo. If you look at, for example, the particular ad that one of the ones that you showed just a few minutes ago, where they are talking about him coming back home after the Tulsa rally, and they're, making references, quite frankly, to his manhood being less than what one might have thought, given his vocalizing about it. I mean, they are directly not just attacking him as a politician, as a president, but they're attacking his manhood. Why do I like that? I like that because I agree with what Eugene says. You have to hit this person the way he hits. You have to take him down. You have to really just get at his self-esteem, in essence. I mean, you got to play rough. You got to play hard. And the thing is, the Democrats, why are we we're what, about 48 hours away from the Tulsa event, and I've not heard anything from the Democratic Party about that.
But Mustafa, that's not Democrats. I mean, look, let's just cut to the chase. Democrats want to play nice. Democrats want to do things in a fair way. That's what they do. They also, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, these folks put that thing together. Matter of fact, they've dropped 2 ads in 48 hours, okay? 2 of those ads we ran, the first one ran before Tulsa. The other 2 ran after Tulsa. That's how you have to be in the news cycle. You have to be quick. You have to respond quickly. And you're absolutely right, Mustafa. I don't understand why I'm not seeing these ads come from the DNC. I don't understand. I mean, first of all, the Biden campaign, they've been very good with their ads, but you need other entities. What about all these damn progressive organizations, all the millions and millions and millions that they're spending, okay? Where's their rapid response ads where they're able to go viral online when you're talking about 6 and 8 and 10 and 15 million folks watching them? And so, thank goodness the Lincoln Project. Now, look, again, folks, the rally is, are they Republicans? Yes. At the end of the day, look, some folks who were your enemy last week could be your enemy this week, because if you've got a like-minded enemy, fine, you both take them out, and then you can fight with them next year, but you take this one out right now. But yeah, Democrats had better understand, forget that Michelle Obama stuff, when they go low, we go high. No, when they go low, you go lower.
Yeah, way too many Democrats, they're sort of like they're Grey Poupon instead of keeping it real and keeping it gully. I mean, if that's what, Trump wants to get down with, folks got to get down with him the exact same way. And as you said, it's got to come from multiple directions. It's amazing. You got hundreds of millions of dollars that go into campaigns. And when you don't see folks effectively creating messaging, and you don't even have to frame a different narrative, Trump gives you everything you need to show that his policies and his actions in many instances are lethargic. Some people might say impotent in some ways to go with the flow from the Lincoln Project. So we just got to make sure that people are getting focused and that is coming from multiple storytellers, because you need that so that it reaches different audiences and they see themselves not only reflected in the impacts that have been happening, but also reflected in how change can actually happen.
In fact, we put together, folks, a compilation video of different groups that have been targeting Donald Trump. Watch this.
Nobody respects women more than I do. Do you have any questions?
I have 2 questions.
No, it's okay. Next, please.
But you called on me.
I love women. I cherish women. She's shocked that I picked her.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
I have great respect for women. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
The way he treats the female reporters is different.
Sit down. You know you're a fake. You know that.
Caitlin Collins was banned from a late afternoon press event because the White House didn't like the question she asked the president.
Women! I love the women. April Ryan. You talk about somebody that's a loser. You're so disgraceful. It's a racist question. Keep your voice down. I'm not responding to you. I'm talking to this gentleman.
The way he reacts is different, and I think it's time to say so.
What is the secret of your success?
The president was given or inherited a large portion of his father's real estate fortune, worth at least $413 million today.
9 out of 10 people don't like what they do. They go from job to job, ultimately becoming nothing.
You'll absolutely love Trump steaks.
The 3 Atlantic City casinos filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection.
2 years after it opened, the company was history.
It never made a profit.
Trump University was fraudulent.
His family's charity accused of misusing funds.
Shakespeare said, never follow an empty wagon up here. Never follow an empty wagon. Because nothing ever falls off.
Donald Trump is playing pretend again, saying he's the one to take on China. They can't wait. They know who Donald Trump is. Weak, corrupt, ridiculed. China beats him every time. No matter what he says, China's got his number. Trump even begged Chinese leader Xi to help him win re-election, like a dog. Trade negotiations? China won. Trump's tariffs? They laughed as Trump hit American families with higher taxes. Trump's trade war? Farms and small businesses went bankrupt. China's military? Expanding without American leadership in the region. President Xi? Trump rolls over for China's president every time. Is it Ivanka's secret deals in China? Is it the $250 million debt Trump owed the Bank of China? It doesn't matter, because when it comes to Trump, China can't lose. The Lincoln Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Now, the general says, "Sir, we can now leave the stage." I say, "Great, General, let's go. I'll follow you." And he goes like this, "Right here, sir." I said, "General, there's no way I can make it down that ramp without falling on my ass, General." So I said, "Is there like something else around?" "Sir, the ramp is ready to go." So now I have a choice. I can stay up there for another couple of hours and wait till I'm rescued. Or I can go down this really steep, really, it's an ice skating rink. It's brutal. So I said, "General, get ready, because I may grab you so fast." Now he's standing there, big, strong guy, and he's got these shoes, but they're loaded with rubber on the bottom. Because the first thing I did, I looked at his shoes. Then I looked at mine. Very, very slippery. So I end up saying, "Okay, General, let's go. I will only grab you if I need you." And the stage was higher than this one. And the ramp was probably 10 yards long. This was a steel ramp. It had no handrail. It was like an ice skating rink.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the United States.
The men who followed this flag 150 years ago knew what it meant. Treason against their country. The death of the United States. America defeated the men who followed that flag. Those with honor surrendered and cast it aside forever. So why does it keep showing up today at events supporting Donald Trump? And why does he call the folks who carry it very fine people?
I think there's blame on both sides, but you also had people that were very fine people.
What does it say that they're all in for Trump? What does it say that he won't condemn a flag of hate, division, and losers?
Will not replace us!
For us, it says this is a time for choosing America or Trump.
Is this who we are? Is this who we want to be? Is this what we want to pass on to our children and our grandchildren? Fear, anger, finger pointing? Or do we want to be the America we know we can be? The America we know in our hearts we could be and should be. You know, I've said from the outset of this election that we're in the battle for the soul of this nation. American history isn't a fairy tale with a guaranteed happy ending. The battle for the soul of this nation has been a constant push and pull for more than 240 years. In some of our darkest moments of despair, we've made some of our greatest progress. We stand together, finally as one America, we'll rise stronger than we were before. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Again, you might say those are petty ads, Eugene, but this is what you got to do to Trump. You got to sit here and you got to be petty with him because he's petty.
How the earlier season of Game of Thrones was. Anybody can get it at any time for anything. That's how Trump operates, and that's how you have to operate with him. You can't, I said, we said it back during the election cycle. You cannot, the issue with everybody that ran against Trump, Republican and Democrat, is that they were trying to be presidential while he was trying to be a street fighter. The only way you can do it with a street fighter is by being a street fighter. Sometimes you got to knock him the hell out. And that's what you got to do with Trump. You got to stab him up. You got to cut him up. You got to shank him up. And that's the only way you'll beat him. This election is going to be won on the margins. And that's what black folk and non-black voters. It's going to be one of the margins. And ads like this is how you increase that margin. It's how you lock in voters early. It's how you make sure black men don't, decide that, 10, 15% of them don't decide that they want to go and vote for Trump because they're reminded, hey, this guy is not just a closet racist, an overt racist.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. A partnership with them, where, of course, Mary Spiel, she's the founder of Seek.com. She is the inventor of these 360-degree 4D headphones. Unbelievable sound. Folks, you can use this for gaming. You can also, of course, with music, videos, you name it. And so what's great about this is that the sound actually, so when you're listening, it literally travels all around your head as opposed to normal headphones. And so I really, really do like these listening to music. Like I say, they have a microphone that you can attach to it, but you can use this when you're playing video games. And so they have a partnership with them. So if you want to buy these headphones, you go to Seek.com, but use this promo code RMVIP2020. RMVIP2020 to actually join. So please take advantage of that. You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.
Hey everybody, this is Sherry Shepherd. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered, and while he's doing Unfiltered, I'm practicing the wobble. Yes, I am. Because Roland Martin's the one, he will do it backwards, he will do it on the side. He messes everybody up when he gets into the wobble, because he doesn't know how to do it, so he does it backwards. And it messes me up every single time. So I'm working on it. I got it. You got Roland Martin.
Hi, my name is LaToya Luckett, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mac Wilds, and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What's up, y'all? It's Ryan Destiny, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What up, Lana Well, and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Hey fam, want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered, the blackest show on all of digital, cable, and broadcast. Check out our audio podcast. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. Press play.